The finale of Euphoria is just around the corner, and after 7 weeks, we have now been left in a position where Nate has been killed off from the show. And Rue looks like she could well be facing that same fate too, with Maddie and Cassie ending up in debt to Alamo, and Jules just out there still painting. There is a lot to unpack. The trailer for the finale has dropped, and I wanted to break it down and give you my theories and predictions on how I think Season 3 is going to end. So, let's get into it. Here is Euphoria Season 3, Episode 8, Trailer Explained. Just a heads up, this video will contain spoilers. Let's go! So, the trailer opens up with a shot of the open landscape, dogs barking, whining, and Lori's birds screeching all at the same time. And then we get Lori appearing from behind her chair saying, "They know something that we don't." Now I feel like this scene is not only symbolic of the chaos that has been going on throughout the entire season, but it's also symbolic of how animals always have this sixth sense. Like they just know when something bad is on the horizon, and clearly something bad is coming. I think in this scene, Lori is speaking with Rue, because remember, Rue screamed at Wayne to wake up to make it look like she was trying to flee. So I wonder if Lori is going to become suspicious about the deal that's taking place. Maybe she views it as a setup by Alamo, or maybe she's just onto the fact that Rue is acting shaky and there's something darker she's got planned. After that, we see Alamo collecting his weapon, and paired with that, we hear Rue saying to Ali, "How does so many people get to be so evil?" And Ali hits back with, "It's human nature. We're selfish." Now in this moment, I wonder if Rue has found out what happened to Nate. And paired with the evil nature of Lori and Alamo that she's been exposed to throughout this season, it's all hitting her at once. The fact that we see Rue back at Allie's place tells us she's going to make it out of Lori's captivity. But maybe she had to do something bad to get free. Maybe she had to tap into that evil side she's talking about. The fact that she's even asking that question, that's Rue processing some real darkness. Along with this, there's a shot of Maddie and Cassie sitting together, and they are both in tears. And this looks like the immediate aftermath of them finding Nate in that coffin underground. Now Maddie being in tears is something we have not seen this entire season, except for that brief moment at Nate and Cassie's wedding. So she is feeling an immense amount of heartbreak here because deep down, even though she was not with Nate, she still loved him in some way. But also, both Maddie and Cassie are now locked into a deal with Alamo because of what he did in taking out Naz. So their fates are looking incredibly dark heading into this finale. When Allie says the words, "we're selfish," it cuts to Lexi giving that judgmental look, which honestly tracks with how she's been acting all season. And look, I felt bad for her at times because she got caught up in everyone else's drama. But a lot of people in the comments made a really good point. Lexi has actually been pretty selfish herself. She wasn't there for Rue when Rue needed her. She assumed Rue was using again instead of actually listening. And she told Maddie what Rue said about working with the DEA. So that cut to Lexi was very intentional. There's also a shot of Jules painting. And honestly, I don't really care about that storyline anymore. It's all we've seen of Jules this season. Despite the potential for a genuinely good arc, she's just been sidelined. She made the choice to give up her freedom and passion for Ellis's money, and so I don't have much sympathy there. It's just been neglected as a storyline. Now here's where things get interesting. Alamo says to Rue, "You was right all along. You and me, we was meant to be." And Rue has fresh grazes on her face. Not just the ones from when she hit the dash. These look new. So I think she got those at the hands of Wayne or Faye after Wayne woke up. And I reckon Rue has gone back to Alamo because she ended up killing Lori or some of Lori's men. That is why Alamo is saying they're similar. Because he knew she had that ruthless side all along, just like him. Or, and this is the other theory, he's softening her up because he hasn't forgotten what Maddie told him about Rue working with the DEA. So he could have a completely different plan for her. Then we get a quick succession of shots. One of Alamo's trucks pulling away, what looks like a horse being ridden through dirt, which we know is probably Alamo because of his whole cowboy thing. And then Rue tripping, falling to the ground, being dragged back. This makes me think Alamo is going after her. And that sets up what I believe is going to be the climax of this entire season. Rue's life versus Alamo's life. Only one makes it out. We also see police cars driving through the dirt, which tells me the ambulance plan is not going to work the way they all hoped. They were already caught in the dead of night, and the helicopter was tracking them. That plan is failing. Then there's a shot of a snake looking directly down the lens of the camera. And after what happened to Nate in the last episode, somebody is most definitely going to die in the finale. The snake is symbolic of exactly that. Bishop shows up next and at a hotel looking for somebody. And the only person I can see him looking for is Rue. He's been suspicious of her from the start. So I think he's had enough and he's going to track her down. Or he's going to kidnap her mother, because he knows that's the leverage he needs to lure Rue in. And the final thing we see in the trailer is Rue walking back into her old home, where her mother was the last time she spoke to her. I think she's going to find the place empty. Maybe there's a note. And that note is going to say, if you want your mom to be safe, come meet Bishop at the hotel. This feels like it could be Rue's end. We saw what happened with Jacob Elordi. He had too many other projects going on, and they wrote Nate out. I think the same could be happening with Zendaya. Levinson might be planning on writing Rue out completely, and having her killed at the hands of Alamo while she's searching for salvation and redemption. And honestly, that would be poetic. Because throughout the entire show, Ali has been the one person who has tried to guide her, bring her to the better side of life, and time again she hasn't made it there. That opening scene in episode 7, Ali helping people and losing them along the way, I think that was setting up Rue becoming another name in his death book. He tried his best, it just wasn't enough. But there's another version of this. Rue doesn't get killed. Instead, she kills Alamo, Bishop, maybe even Wayne, Faye, or Lori. And instead of dying, she goes to jail. And that is why Rue has been narrating this whole show. She's been writing the story of her life from a jail cell. Her life as she knows it is over. That still counts as a loss for Ollie, just in a completely different way. One more thing I want to flag. The end of the trailer says season finale, not series finale. So I wonder if they're going to try and bring this show back in a totally different format. Even if the main cast gets written out, it's actually not that crazy. Skins did exactly that back in the day, rotating the entire cast every couple of years. And with these actors getting bigger and bigger, that format might actually work for Euphoria too. Either way, I am genuinely excited to see how this ends. And there you have it, Euphoria Season 3, Episode 8's trailer, fully explained. If you want to see more videos on Euphoria Season 3, check the playlist below and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. How do you think Season 3 is going to end? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.